Tonight, 6 people are now charged with a huge fraud and bribery scam targeting food stamps. Listen to this. One of the arrested people in this, a USDA employee, that's the government agency that oversees food stamp benefits. According to the Justice Department, the group set up a network that supplied approximately 160 unauthorized EBT terminals to stores across the New York area. Those terminals then illegally processed more than $30 million in EBT transactions. And the USDA employee who's charged actually worked in the division responsible for identifying food stamp fraud.
If you want to know where the majority of the issues, the fraud, waste, and abuse is going to come from, it comes from within the agencies and the departments that are set up to try to prevent these problems from happening in the first place. That's where the majority of it is. And so, you know, when people are objecting to the Department of Government Efficiency or, you know, from Trump tackling fraud, waste, and abuse, and you can have your disagreements with them about a lot of things, but you can't have your disagreement with them about trying to tackle the very issues. And when I see Democrats say, yo, no, we need to go in with a scalpel. No, you need to go in with a hammer. You need to go in with both, a scalpel, a hammer, an axe, all of that. Because to see the ones that actually is supposed to be getting it is not getting it. And ain't no telling how long that this has been happening. They saying more than 30 million in illegal transactions. I'm hearing this over $66 million in transactions that they wind up discovering when they came down to it.
Is this a Department of Agriculture employee and 5 others under arrest this morning, accused of a multi-million-dollar food stamp fraud and bribery scheme? The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York calling this one of the largest food stamp frauds in U.S. history. Joining me now is the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins. Secretary, it's great to have you this morning. What can you tell us about this?
Well, good morning, Maria. It's always so great to be with you. And you are coming from one of my favorite places in America. So it's really great to see you there. Listen, this is a new day. And President Trump promised as he was traveling across the country over the last few years that it would not be the government that we know. The government certainly that under Joe Biden exponentially grew. And alongside that, including the fraud and waste and abuse. And so at USDA, we are hyper-focused on rooting out that waste, fraud, and abuse. And to your point, yesterday was, if not the largest, one of the largest stings. And moving forward and finding that fraud, I think almost $70 million that is no longer going to be allowed here in Washington and with these programs like the food stamp program. So we're going to move forward, obviously, in partnership with the FBI, with the Department of Justice, of course, our team at USDA. This is not the one and only. There are going to be many more to come. And we're going to make sure that we're delivering on our promises to the taxpayers.
And I'm glad that they're also highlighting it and making it available for the people to see, because, you know, it is a bad precedent to set. I guarantee you that we probably have billions every single year. I'm wondering if it was only 66 million in general, or if it was just like all, and who else is involved, because they saying that they set up these terminals and all of these different stores. And so I'm trying to figure out, well, didn't the stores had to know about it too? Stinks to high hell, stinks to high heaven. Every time that I see somebody driving around in a I'm going to question everything now, because so many people was finessing. So many people is going down for fraud. So many people got PPP loans. So many people is stealing food stamps. It's insane.
So the prosecutors and the authorities are saying that this person defrauded the SNAP program, right? Also known as food stamps, $66 million in unauthorized transactions.
That's right. Well, the food stamp program is one of the largest government programs across the federal government. And obviously, I've talked on this show and other shows that it's time for real effective change. Part of that $200 billion annual program, the best sort of estimate is between 20 to 30% of that is fraud, waste, and abuse. The $66 million that was announced yesterday on behalf of USDA and the others that were part of that, again, is just the tip of the spear. And the way that works, Maria, the EBT cards is what USDA, the government, uses to provide that supplemental nutrition assistance, which is the food stamps, and that it's a fairly easy thing to do. We're trying to lock it down right now to ensure that it doesn't keep happening. But when you've got employees that basically don't follow the law, then we've got to fix it, and that's what we're doing. There's going to be real consequences for breaking the law across America's federal government with President Trump, but this is just one of many more to come.
I want to see who the perpetuators are. I want to see what they look like. I want to see who the people that have been stealing from the American taxpayers, that's been stealing from us. I want to see what they look like. I want to see what fraud, waste, and abuse, the face of it. When you've seen all of these people voting a certain way, when you've seen all of these people advocating against it, when I've seen a ton of people saying, no, we didn't want that, no, he should leave our programs alone. Who don't want your programs to be audited to make sure that you're not spending all of the government resources? That's the first, and you know what's so funny? Elon said it. Elon Musk said it. Elon Musk said, hey, listen, if you want to know where the fraud, waste, and abuse is, all you have to do is go and look at where they hollering the most. That's where you look first. That's where you look first.
Well, we definitely want to see consequences and accountability, but let me move on. Secretary, you approved state waivers to make America healthy again by removing unhealthy foods from the SNAP programs in Indiana and Iowa. On Monday, you approved the first ever state waiver to restrict soda and energy drinks from the food stamps in Nebraska. You're really zeroing in on health and wellness for our young people and everyone else. Your thoughts? Tell us more.
Well, I am really proud. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little surprised that this hasn't happened before, right? It's just common sense. This is the age maybe of common sense in Washington, that taxpayer dollars were being used to fund lower income Americans' purchase of sugary drinks and junk food. Now, if they want to use their own money to do that, of course, that's fine. It may not be the best health choices, but the fact that taxpayers have been funding this in a massive program, the number one purchase with using taxpayer dollars was on sugary drinks. So I guess for years,
the number one purchase. That's crazy. The number one purchase of using taxpayer dollars was on sugary drinks. Get the hell out of here, bro. No way.
Waivers that have been submitted by the states have been approved, but we already approved Nebraska was first. Iowa and Indiana were last week, and then we've got several more announcements in the coming week, and then hopefully many, many more to follow. And this is bipartisan, Maria. This is not just Republican governors. It's Republican and Democrat working together to ensure that we're providing the right sort of programming that we need for our lower income Americans.
And why wasn't this a thing that was tackled before? Why are we just now getting this? And you can miss me with the governors and the Democrats and all of this and the Republicans or whatever. But what I'm trying to understand is, why wasn't this a thing that was tackled before? Why are we just now having this conversation on fraud, waste, and abuse? These people have been doing this for years. And then why haven't we stopped people from buying the trash and restricted it to be only specific things that can actually be beneficial to the child? This is how you know that it's all a finesse. And then here's the worst part about it. The people are actually mad. The people are mad that the Trump administration and the people that work for him are going after the things that's not good. And then we had RFK and he in there and they doing all of these great things. I'm tired of it, and I'm tired of it. I'm glad that we finally got a president that's delivering in his administration and taking care of business. I just want to know who the people was that stole it in the first place. We need to see their mugshots, the same way that we see all of the other criminals. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.